It doesn't matter how it looks. It just has to be done. And this is no longer, like I said, it is not just about Afe Babanla only. The entire establishment will come for every one of us. Every one of us that spoke out and still speaking out against this rotten establishment, against these criminals, they would come for all of us. I know I'm going to have my own day. Do you know that? And I'm not afraid of that. You know? And that is why if you are afraid of death, you probably will be, you'll be a walking corpse even before you finally meet that death. So why don't you try and live first? You have a chance to live now. So why don't you just live right? Why don't you just live in a way that even if you have to die, at the last minutes of that, your death, you can probably be proud of yourself and say, well, at least I lived. I didn't live like a coward. And that's exactly what Dele Farotimi is. Do not feel sorry for him. Do not feel, no. He saw this coming. He did see it coming. Listen to the another part of that presentation in London last year.
The absence of the legitimacy of protests, peaceful protests, with the government making it clear that it has no shame or even any restraint about killing Nigerians, and the international community shamelessly looking on why this was happening without saying a word. And when it said anything, it merely whimpered in your parliament in Britain here. Togenhard was busy telling us about how Gowon brought half of Nigeria's treasury to this country, telling us that Britain was effectively a recipient of stolen property. So that's another ballgame entirely. But the point is that we came to the realization of the fact that we are the ones who are going to have to sort out our own mess. So across the length and breadth of Nigeria, people got together in the knowledge that they had to do something. And they began to form little cells. And this happened on the 25th of February. Bola Ahmed Tinubu could not get 20% of the votes in Lagos State. That was what happened. That is a fact. No amount of oro that they might carry, and that man sat there wearing hat, pretending not to hear. Rosemary of Tinubu. He was the one who forced them to start carrying oro. That was the extent of their fear. That was fear. They were so afraid by the result they saw on the 25th of February that they were ashamed to bring out all manner of tribal and ethnic divisions, religious divisions, all manner of hatred were recognized in broad daylight. The diplomatic community were there. Unashamedly, some of you in the diaspora were busy clapping this nonsense on. And I look at all of you and I wonder, how do you complain or speak or condemn racism if you, in your own country, if you in your own country cannot see another person as a wedge? That was what happened in Nigeria. So when you ask what happened, that was what happened. The people found the commonalities of their affliction and they delivered a crushing defeat to the ruling APC on the 25th of February. And after that happened, what then happened? INEC, under Professor Yakubu Mahmoud. These people remember his name, but will not remember him for good. Because what he did is out there in the public space. Those who wish to deodorize the skunk might call it any other thing. But the truth of the matter is that the man in question most shamelessly compromised the integrity of Nigerian election. I was up and I witnessed the election. I voted around 8:43 on the day, PM. The election was tallied at my polling unit around 1:43 a.m. My fellow residents in my neighborhood brought generators, candles, and everything to ensure that I was able to do his job. Everybody did their job. The Nigerians, every one of us did our job. The only people who failed us, INEC. That was what happened. So they now told me, said, so what will happen? To know what will happen, we have to address the fundamentals that His Excellency mentioned in passing. And fundamentals are important. I'm a Yoruba man. The Yoruba nation is a very old one. It precedes the Nigerian nation. And it's probably as old as the English. I'm proud to say that. My mask that is young here, it's back before Christ. So let's be clear about that. And one of our fundamental proverbs says this. He says, you say to the crippled, your load is imbalanced. And he says, why are you looking to the load on my head? Why don't you address the imbalance at the base? What will happen? I'll tell you. Nigeria is not possessed of the Constitution. You know, His Excellency was busy talking about the sanctity of the Constitution. Nigeria is not possessed of the Constitution. Nigeria is governed by a decree. It is known as Decree 24 of 1999. It was the parting gift of the military junta that rules Nigeria. The Constitution of Nigeria does not flow from the will of the Nigerian people. So the Nigerian is essentially not a citizen. He is a subject. Citizenship does not fall on your lap. It's a function of evolution. The British evolved their citizenship. And you have to go back into the Magna Carta, dating back, I think, 10 something. I'm not sure. I think it's about 10. I'm not sure that it's been a long time since I took courses in jurisprudence, but I do know that the basis of English or British citizenship is in the Magna Carta. It restrains the powers of the king and it forces him to be accountable for his powers. Every power given by law, the absence of the legitimate.
Thank you very much, DF. Nigeria has no law. Nigeria is not governed by law. Nigeria is governed by decree. Decree 24 of the Nigeria military. Decree 24 of 1999. That is what you call the 1999 Constitution. People have no say in it. And that is why you see all this demigod that you have in that contraption. That is why they believe that once you join their court, and people have said that many times, if you see the midst of the Nigerian lawyers or the senior ones, especially the senior ones, they are like the court group. They are there. They are the base, the foundation for everything that is wrong with that contraption, and that is the judiciary. It is that bad. So finally, before we move on to something else, right? What really triggers the establishment in Dele Farotimi's book, as well as his conversation with Seun Wakimbaloye in August this year, is this particular part of that interview.
You particularly took on personalities and a very revered legal icon, Are Afe Babalola. You accused him of corrupting the Supreme Court. You accused him of libel. And you accused him of leveraging his influence in the judiciary to deny you justice. You made reference to a particular case. And you also dragged the likes of Mr. Pedro SAN in all of this argument. What exactly was the situation? And how can you defend what you have alleged in this book?
Like I have strived to explain, I am dealing with institutions and principalities within institutions. that I have had to deal with persons is, by the way, they are collateral to my preoccupation. Now, anything I have said in relation to any one of them, I am perfectly happy to defend myself before any court of law, anywhere in the world. And the fact of the truth that I have told, they are all in the public space. They are in the public record. They are before the courts. I have not written this book to scandalize or to make money. In actual fact, every kobo derived from this book already pledged and donated to a foundation for autistic children. This is not for gain. But the truth is the truth is the truth. And it must be told without caring about names or reputations. If I have lied against persons, they are lawyers. As you said, Baba is the legal igu in Nigeria. They are the ones who planted the judiciary that we have today. And I know and they know what they did in the case under reference. And the facts of what they did, the malfeasance, is before the courts. They can't even, I don't even have to produce a single piece of paper. Everything is in the public space.
But it seems that person so revered as Are Afe Babalola,
yes,
it looks that you are impugning that image, that reputation built over the years. And I'm asking you to substantiate. Tell Nigerians on this platform what exactly was the case. How did he deny you justice through the system?
Sheon,
Mr. Farotimi.
I wrote a book deliberately setting out the facts. I have also been very deliberate in my presentation and speaking about the book since I wrote it to make sure that nobody is able to say that I have written the book with the intention of scandalizing persons. When I said Are Afe Babalola denied me justice, I laid out the substance of my allegation in the book that I have written. If I begin to deal with the nuts and bolts of it on your podcast or in the press, that's why you've never seen me tweet any part of the allegation or speak about it publicly. I've put it in a book. That is deliberate. It will outlive me and them. It is not beer parlor talk. It is me putting my words in writing. It is indelible. Nobody can touch it again. Before that book was written, my major prayer was that Are Afe Babalola should live to read that book, or at least have somebody read it to him, or at least have somebody tell him about it so that he's able to rebut, and nobody is going to turn around later on and claim that, why didn't you say this when he was alive? In actual fact, that was why I sued him in his lifetime, so that there would be record that I challenged him with the fact when he was alive. And thanks to God, the God who has given all of us life, he has preserved him as he has preserved me. Are Afe Babalola is alive and well. He is well able to challenge the facts as I have laid them out. So when I say that he denied me justice, even you who has read the book, let me just say this. How do you explain that the person who was the chairperson at my wedding was the judge, the chairperson at my wedding, who has not talked to me and has kept a distance and been very malicious towards me since 2003. She has never had a word to say to me. That was the person, my very first employer as a lawyer. That was the judge that the case was assigned to. My case against Afe Babalola was assigned to that judge.
And you think that you couldn't have gotten justice?
We have to read that book. Wow. I mean, how come I didn't actually really read the book? I am somebody who follows a lot of things like this. I would have picked on it. It was like when David Undeyin wrote the book of how he escaped being kidnapped from Nigeria by the agent of Nigerian government under Bukwari. I had to go and buy the book to read the whole process, all that happened. How did I miss that of Dele Farotimi? This is something I've been trying, I've been beating myself to for days now. We expect the likes of Afe Babalola and co, right, to possibly write their own rebuttal. Any section of the book, when Obasanjo wrote is my will, nobody tried to kidnap Obasanjo, especially all he said about so many personalities in Nigeria. None of them had the audacity to go and kidnap him or even sue him. They threatened to, some of them threatened to, but many others wrote different rejoinders in the newspapers, online, everywhere. No, that story, that thing Obasanjo said, it wasn't like that. That's not how it happened, and all of that stuff. So I expected, sorry, my watch, rather, I said my will. Obasanjo's My Watch. Remember that book? He accused a lot of people of corruption. He accused so many of them of treachery, some of them of treason. All the things that people did, that Obasanjo was aware of. He wrote it inside that is My Watch. Nobody kidnapped Obasanjo. Not a single person even sued him that he was lying. They all used all the mediums they had to debunk what he said. So many of them said that he lied, he's a lie, he's this, he's that. Sure you get. Nobody sued him for libel. Because Obasanjo belongs to the caucus of the ruiners of Nigeria. So not Dele. Dele doesn't enjoy that same privilege. Now we have to read the book. On this platform, we will read the book here. We want to know. Those of you who have already bought the book, you've read it, Abi, don't worry. Now, all of us will now read the book on this platform, latest by Tuesday, the 10th of December. Dele Farotimi said, this is fine. I mentioned names, yeah, but this is beyond just names. We're talking about an institutionalized malfeasance, corruption, where justice is for the highest bidder. These are the guys who laid the foundation for what you call justice system in Nigeria. It is the rotten system that they are proud of, what they call their legacy. What legacy? Legacy of criminality. Legacy of injustice. That's not legacy. But rather, they want him shut down. They want the books. They want it confiscated. Nobody should buy the book. Anyone that buys the book, collect it from them and all that stuff. We will read the book going forward because Afe Babalola is a crook. He is a criminal. Like Dele Farotimi said, we are all happy that he lived long so that they can't say, oh, you are saying all of this when he is dead. He is alive. He is a criminal. And like Dele Farotimi also said, right, this documentation of what happened, they are in the public domain. This is not somebody waking up and just be like, okay, you did this to me. No. This whole information are in the public domain. Just like that of David Undeyi. Everything that happened to him, how he escaped from Nigeria, when he told us about the jihad for conflict, the people who are sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria, how they brought the terrorism to Nigeria, and all the accomplices, in everything inside this book. And then they went for him. They wanted to kill him. Similarly, most of what, everything inside this book, they are already in the public domain. So not that somebody woke up one day and they started making up stories. And to you, the Ronukus, without you, there will never be all these criminals and the power they think they have. Dele Farotimi knows the establishment that is fighting him. Majority of you, the same people that are destroying Nigeria, destroying your lives, the lives of your loved ones, are those who are telling you that your problem is spiritual. Your problem is not spiritual. Nigeria problem is not spiritual. And we tell generations the names of those responsible for Nigeria's problem. So, care for yourselves and stop pretending that you care about those who chooses to confront the monsters, the beasts. You might be voluntary slaves, on-boot slaves, whether you are young or you are old. Everybody can be like you. Everyone can't live the life of a slavery like some of you have chosen to be quiet. Yet you are being killed systematically or systemically. They are killing you, destroying you. And you are turning to your God, your sky daddy, to come and help you. It won't help you. Whether you talk, you will die. If you don't talk, you will die. Why not just talk and die?
Even the one you talk about, our crude oil in the facilities abroad, during Buhari's administration, I'm aware, 2 teams were sent to China. They came back and confirmed that we have crude oil there. Later, NNPC hired Afi Babalola to go on television, advertise on the papers that the whistleblower is a liar, that nothing like that happened.
The same Afi Babalola, Afi Babalauli, the old coward, legal luminary, that is so afraid to actually confront the person that exposed him and others, is using the police, the same criminal police. So yes, Dele Farotimi's book is still selling. If you haven't gotten one, you should go and get it. By Tuesday on this platform, we are all going to read it together. So it's better you have your copy with you, right? Don't just buy the book. Read it. And we will read it here. For those of you who probably will feel too lazy to read it, we will read it here. It will be on record, the content of it. I'm talking about dying. Today, our father, being Alaji Muhyiddin Bello, passed on. You remember him? And until his death, he was never. I have seen some of these criminal politicians in Nigeria, from the north to the south, sort of talking about his death. He was this, he was that. It wasn't totally their friends. It wasn't their friends.
Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ bá gbọ́dọ̀ Yorùbá tí mò ń sọ, ẹ túmọ̀ rẹ̀ fáwọn adájọ́ tí ò gbọ́ Yorùbá. Ẹ pé mo lólórí burúkú ni wọ́n ò ní ṣoríire láyé àtàlùkìyámà. Mo gbọ́ owó tẹ́nìkan kó jọ tóun nìkan kó jẹ́ ń jò ní mo sì dákú. Èé ti jẹ́ kí ni ó fi ṣe? Ọjọ́ mélòó ni ó fi lò? Ọdún mélòó ni ó ṣe láyé tí ó fi ná dúró owó yìí tán? La ilaha illallah. Ẹ fi ìyà jẹ mí, ẹ ní ìlú ayé náà. Ẹni òfò ni ẹ ṣòfò láyé ẹ tún ṣe lálìkìyámà. Ẹ̀yin rádaràda wọ̀nyí.
He wasn't their friend. To him, he said, go and tell all the judges. Go and tell all the judges who don't understand Yoruba that they would all, they will not die well for covering up criminals in Nigeria. That he heard about, the money stolen by one of these lunatics called the public officials in Nigeria, and he fainted. Baba Bello has passed on now. He died at the age of 84. Babanla Ole, after Babanla Ole, is 95 years old. So he lived long enough to see all this shady criminality exposed to the younger generation. So if you are one of their humbled slaves online, you can continue to live in that your slavery, but there is a generation that will know these people for who they are. Even if they are, even when they are dead, there is a generation that will know them for who they are. For your information. Ẹ̀yin
tẹ́ ẹ bá gbọ́dọ̀ Yorùbá tí mò ń sọ, ẹ túmọ̀ rẹ̀ fáwọn adájọ́ tí ò gbọ́ Yorùbá. Ẹ pé mo lólórí burúkú ni wọ́n ò ní ṣoríire láyé àtàlùkìyámà. Mo gbọ́ owó tẹ́nìkan kó jọ tóun nìkan kó jẹ́ ń jò ní mo sì dákú. Èé ti jẹ́ kí ni ó fi ṣe? Ọjọ́ mélòó ni ó fi lò? Ọdún mélòó ni ó ṣe láyé tí ó fi ná dúró owó yìí tán? La ilaha illallah. Ẹ fi ìyà jẹ mí, ẹ fi ìyà jẹ mí, ẹ ní ìlú ayé nírọ̀rùn. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́
ẹ fi ìyà jẹ mí, ẹ ní ìlú ayé nírọ̀rùn. That means you will not live, if you are alive, you will not live in peace. And he was directing it at judges. Specifically, he was directing his causes at the judges. Because they are the ones covering up. In China, if you are caught stealing from the public, they will go and kill you. Now, just sentence. In Nigeria, they will give you a chieftaincy title. Because a judge is going to say, no, let him go. He's one of us. All you have to do is just to make sure that you have a connection with the likes of Afe Babanlaole, and they can cover you up. Have you heard? The NNPC, they have come out with another number.